Hi, my name is Lauren Carter, and this is my project over John Singer Sargent. He was born January 12, 1856 in Florence, Italy, and he died in his sleep on April 15th, 1925 at age 69. He primarily made paintings, and portraits were his specialty. His favorite materials to create his works with were either watercolors or oil on canvas. John Singer Sargent was a realist painter. Realism developed in France during the 1800s that formed on the backbone of an increasing emphasis on science. Realist artists stated that only what could be seen was real. They really only focused on the present and disapproved of historical and fictional subjects because they were not visible and therefore not real or important. The art during this period was painted exactly how they saw it in that exact moment in time. They really didn't focus on drawing emotion or drama to their art because they wanted it to be real and emotion would be considered temporary. Although he was born and raised in Europe, Sargent views himself as an American because his parents, who moved to Europe to try and find relief after the death of their first son, were American. His teacher taught him to be immediate and not draw sketches before painting, which became a part of his style. However, Sargent still loved to sketch everything to get it perfect, but then would paint how he saw it immediately. He loved to travel and gathered fame for painting landscapes in all countries. His most famous work was considered a horror during his time because of the low-cut sleeves a woman had. It turned many of his followers against him. Today, it is very famous and celebrated. Three other artists that worked in the same style as Sargent were Manet, Daumier, and Eakins. These three artists shared some qualities with Sargent, but also differed from him greatly. For example, Daumier liked to paint more somber-themed paintings, often of the poor or massacres, like in his Third-Class Carriage. This was in contrast of Sargent's more serious and peaceful themes of landscape and portraits. Daumier also used his art to portray a message to the public, like in his Rue Transnonain, while Sargent just liked his art to be real and give a glimpse of a moment. Despite these differences, all these artists did not put much drama into their art. They simply painted it as they saw it and were completely factual. These artists also never incorporated religion into their art. It was usually secular. Sargent's favorite quote is, "I do not dig beneath the surface for things that do not appear before my eyes." Here is a portrait of John Singer Sargent. One work of Sargent was called Madame X. It was made in 1884. It was oil on canvas. The dimensions were 92.5 inches by 43.25 inches, and it is located in the Metropolitan Museum of Art in Manhattan. Another work of Sargent would be The Daughter of Edward Darley Boyd. It was made in 1882. It was oil on canvas. The dimensions were 7 feet 3 inches by 7 feet 3 inches. It is located in the Museum of Fine Arts in Boston. Another work by Sargent is a painting called Carnation Lily, Lily, Rose. It was made in 1886 and is currently located in the Tate Gallery in Britain. It is oil on canvas and the dimensions are 68.5 inches by 60.5 inches. Another painting by Sargent is called El Jaleo. It was made in 1882 and it is oil on canvas. The dimensions are 237 by 352 centimeters, and it is currently located in the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum. Another work by Sargent was a self-portrait. It was made in 1906 and it is oil on canvas. The dimensions are 30 by 25 inches and is currently located in the Uffizi Gallery in Florence. The Madame X is John Singer Sargent's most famous painting and is famous worldwide. This painting is a portrait of Madame Virginie Gortrau, who was famous in Paris at that time for her modeling. She is beautiful in the painting, yet has no emotion on her face. She is posing wearing a black dress with jeweled straps. Her white skin contrasts with the black dress and dark background. The dress both reveals and hides at the same time and shows off all of the wrinkles as she holds her dress. Her serious face and posture, along with the dress wrinkles, creates the realistic style. The artist chose this color scheme because it makes Virginie stand out and really emphasize her in the painting. He wanted all the attention on her and painted her just as he saw her. The artwork emits the feelings of seriousness and also gracefulness. The way she holds her dress and the elegant posture of her body creates a serious tone with added grace and even a little sexuality. The most interesting part of this painting is the dress because it is what created such a bad reputation for Sargent for a while. The dress reveals the madam being sleeveless and was not acceptable during this time. It forced Sargent to leave Paris and harmed his career.